Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we try to make sense of all the corporate jargon and tell you what it really means for the companies we invest in or just find interesting. Today we're diving into Focus Universal Incorporated's latest report, and let's just say it is a story of near misses and second chances. This is a current report filed with the SEC, which means something important happened recently, and the company needs to tell you about it fast. Think of it like a company's urgent bulletin board. The main event here happened on the 22nd of December, 2025. This is our company, Focus Universal Incorporated, a company that has its stock traded on the Nasdaq capital market under the ticker symbol FCU. Their main offering is common stock, which is basically a piece of ownership in the company. And that Nasdaq listing is pretty important because a big part of this report is about them trying to stay listed. This section is where the juicy stuff often hides. It is for other important happenings that don't fit neatly into other categories. So back in June 2025, they got a serious warning from Nasdaq. The company's market value, which is basically what all its stock is worth on the market, dropped below $35 million. That is a big deal because Nasdaq has rules to make sure companies listed on their exchange are stable. Focus Universal also missed the mark on two other key metrics. They needed at least $2.5 million in stockholders' equity. Think of that like the company's net worth, and at least $500,000 in profit from their ongoing business operations. Failing these means they were at risk of being kicked off the Nasdaq. Now for the good news, or at least the slightly less bad news, on the 22nd of December, they got a conditional compliance letter from Nasdaq. This means they've shown some progress, specifically by filing another report right before this one on the 17th of December. In that earlier report, they apparently convinced Nasdaq that they now have at least $2.5 million in stockholders' equity. So for now, they're meeting that specific rule for remaining listed. But here is the catch, and it is a big one. This is only conditional. Nasdaq is giving them a probationary period. They need to provide more proof that they're staying compliant when they file their next regular report. If they don't, they could still be delisted. This is like being given a warning ticket instead of an arrest warrant. You dodge the worst for now, but you are still on thin ice. So their stock isn't going anywhere just yet. It will keep trading on the Nasdaq capital market. But this comes with a giant asterisk attached. They have to keep following all the other rules Nasdaq has for companies, not just the one they just barely passed. This means they need to be on top of their game across the board, or they could still face the chopping block. This report is signed by Desheng Wang, the Chief Executive Officer of Focus Universal Incorporated. As the CEO, he is ultimately responsible for the company's performance and its compliance with these important regulations. So, what is the big picture here? Focus Universal Incorporated is in a precarious position. They've managed to avoid immediate delisting by meeting one critical requirement, but it is a temporary fix. The company's financial health, or at least its market perception of that health, needs significant and sustained improvement. They've proven they can rally to meet a specific deadline, but the real challenge is to build a stable business that meets Nasdaq standards consistently and for the long haul. The market value and profitability are the true indicators of a thriving company. And while they've sidestepped a bullet this time, the pressure is still very much on. There are clear strengths in their ability to respond to regulatory pressure, but the fundamental weaknesses in market valuation and profitability are still glaring. The biggest risk is a continued inability to generate sustainable profits and increase their market value, which could lead to that delisting after all. For now, they've bought themselves some time, but the future trajectory depends entirely on their ability to execute a turnaround strategy effectively. That is our breakdown of Focus Universal Incorporated's latest report. What is your take on these numbers and what they signal for the company's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps us out. And subscribe for more deep dives into the world of corporate finance. Don't forget to check out our Discord community in the description for more in-depth discussions and to connect with other viewers. Thanks for watching. See you next time.